episode, we're going to talk about the different herbs that are really good for not only for your hair, but also your overall health. And I'm going to cover 3 main ingredients: sage, rosemary, and burdock. And in my book, The Black Hair Care Revolution, I have a couple of recipes in the chapter entitled The Kitchen Salon Recipes. And the recipes include these different ingredients because of their medicinal values. So let's begin. So the first one we're going to start out with is sage. Now sage, I love sage. This is an all-time favorite of mine. It not only stimulates hair growth, it removes dandruff, but it also is good internally. A lot of people burn sage and they call it the cleansing process, or what is it called? Oh my God, what is it called? When you burn. Smudging. Go back down. Yes, people use dried sage. It's called smudging. I don't necessarily, that's not why I brought it here. I discovered that sage actually kills about 95% of the bacteria in the air. So you can actually burn sage and cleanse your home, which is interesting because I use Lysol, but I just discovered I can kill bugs with Lysol, and why would I want to spray that all over my house? So instead, I started burning sage to kill the bacteria in my home. And you can find sage in different formats. You can use it in various ways. So a lot of people are familiar with sage because they make sausage or they cook with it. Like I said, you can also burn it. This is the plant form where it's not dry. And I also have a plant here, so you can kind of see what it looks like in real life when it's growing out of the ground. And here's the herb that a lot of people have. It's an herb form, it's dried. Now this is rub sage. So you can actually cook with this version of it. So you have a lot of different ways to use sage. You can also add it to your products. You can make products with it. So you'll have it, you can use it internally. You can make a tea out of it. You can also, like I said, cook with it, use it in food. And go back up. And that's when they say they remove all the bad spirits out of their homes. I don't know if you've seen on TV where people are walking around just kind of letting the smoke filter throughout the home. I'm not necessarily using it for smudging, but after discovering that it kills 95% of the bacteria in the air, I use it to cleanse my house. And another thing I discovered is Lysol, which is something that I always used. I found out that you can kill bugs with Lysol. So I kill bugs with Lysol and I kill bacteria with sage. A couple of things that sage is good for is it removes dandruff. It stimulates hair growth. You can use it as an antiseptic. And like I said, you can also kill bacteria with sage. But one important thing that I forgot to mention is that it improves memory. And there are a lot of treatments that people, these drug companies are using that include sage, and sage is an important ingredient for that particular item. And it improves memory, and they use it to fight Alzheimer's, something that I probably, you have memory loss, you want to help improve your memory. Drink sage, use it on your hair, put it in your body products. It's really good internally. Okay, another ingredient that is really good is rosemary. And just like that can be found in the Alani line of products, is rosemary. And I just wanted to show you the plant form. This is how it grows out of the ground. And these herbs smell so good. People actually have the dried form of the herb, and they'll put it on top of their chicken and or their meats and bake it. We also have this dried form where they band it together, and people actually smoke this where they inhale the smoke into their body and release it, or you can just burn it and let the smoke kind of just filter around the house. One thing that I like to do is I like to drink rosemary tea because it's really good for, they use rosemary to treat brain disease, it stimulates hair growth, it reduces dandruff. So it does a lot of things internally and externally for you. That's wonderful. So this is just the herbal form, the dried leaves, and then you just add this to hot water and a little flavoring, but maybe a sweetener or something. Okay, and one benefit that people say they receive from smoking the dried herb and inhaling the smoke is that it filters through the body. So one thing that rosemary does is it cleanses the blood, and it also lowers your blood pressure. So people kind of swear by this, that internally if you smoke if you inhale the smoke, it helps you faster that way as well. So the next ingredient I want to talk about is burdock root. And the good thing about burdock root, it really helps you internally and externally. Not only does it work well to stimulate hair growth, another ingredient that stimulates hair growth, but also internally, it cleanses the blood. It helps you with your skin. People who have acne or they have eczema, it's really good for their skin, and you can use it in different forms. Another thing is that it fights cancer. And so this is really a good ingredient to take care of you internally and externally. And people use burdock root and leaves in a variety of ways. You can make tea out of burdock. You can also cook with burdock. And so those are two important ways that people use burdock. Basically, not only does it stay healthy, but it also has a nice flavor. So the way people use the root is you cut a piece, you can cut it up, and then you can boil it. And that way you can use it for the teas, or you can just kind of cut it small like you would cut an onion. Just cut it up in little pieces and put it on top of whatever meats you're cooking or whatever you're cooking with. With the leaves, you can actually make a tea out of the leaves. And it has the same consistency as far as the other herbal teas. So you can either put it in a tea bag, or you can just put it in a pot of boiling water and steep it. And that way you can have burdock tea. For soft, natural, healthy hair, join the revolution.